Hey everybody, it's Robert again. Got some feedback from my last video, so I'm not going to make this one as long. Try to remind people that the first one was more of like a pilot kind of thing. Um, so today, just kind of want to talk about talk about life, how we see the world, and explain why there are so many things that are going on right now that are ridiculously wrong, but we're not going to see it differently. And I'm going to tell you why. So, what I believe is one of the biggest problems that we have in life is that we only see with our eyes and we only listen with our ears. All right. And I know you might be thinking, well, how else am I supposed to see? How else am I supposed to hear anything? Because if I were blind, I wouldn't be able to see, and if I were deaf, I wouldn't be able to hear. But it's not just your eyes that see things. Okay, it's not just your ears that hear things. It's your heart because you see things with your eyes. So what do you see with your eyes? You see color. You see size. You see shape. And this is how we look at people. This is how we look at things. This is how we look at places. Size, shape, and color. Oh, well, that's really pretty because it's blue. The ocean is so pretty because it's blue. The sky is blue. Oh, wow. So pretty. But we don't see anything past the color. You don't realize the world that you're seeing because what you see is an ocean or a sky. But there is a whole array of life underneath of that color that we see in the water. There is a whole array of life going on in the sky. So it's not just color that's there. So when we look at a human being and all we see is color, we've we've already messed up because there's life there. And it may not be the same color that you are, but it's got the same heart. It's got a soul. It's got energy. It's got love. It's got feelings. It's got everything. Just because what you see with your eyes is one thing does not make it so. It's the same thing with hearing. You know, you hear people talk shit. All right? People talk shit all the time. People always got to talk shit for some reason. But that doesn't mean that every person is a bad person. It really doesn't even mean that the person talking shit is a bad person. They clearly got issues, but just because they're talking shit doesn't make them a bad person. But then we think, oh man, you know, look at this group of people with our eyes. All right, so let's just be hypothetical. All right, here's this group of white people standing here talking shit. So all these white people have to be bad because our eyes and our ears tell us that what we see is no good, what we hear is no good, so all must be no good. And this is incorrect. But this is how we're living life. We're living life in a way that is only hurting us because all we see more is division, division, division. You know, what did these people, and when I say these people, I'm referring to JFK, I'm referring to Martin Luther King, I'm referring to Malcolm X, I'm referring to Bobby Kennedy. Funny thing about those four individuals, they all were aspiring for change. And interestingly enough, they were all aspiring for change in 4 different ways. And all 4 of them were killed. All 4 of them were killed. Oh, and what was that? What word did I start with? Color. Hey, how about 2 of them were black and 2 of them were white? And all 4 of them were trying to help ease the tension that has been created between us as a people, because we see with our eyes and we listen with our ears. And there's so much more to us. We're not mindless machines. We have brains in our head. We have hearts in our chest. We have the senses that we have for a reason. And when it comes to people, a lot of times we only use one of them, which is sight. So we're robbing ourselves and we're robbing each other of the fruits of life because we're just using one of our senses. Whether you understand it or not, I know there are many people who know that you can walk into a room and you can feel the vibes of the room. You know what I mean? You can sense, maybe this isn't a place I should be, or I don't know, this seems like a cool place. And that happens with people. Excuse me. Believe it or not, at least I can say that when I shake hands with somebody, I get a vibe from you right away of who you are and what we can talk about and what we can't talk about. And, I don't know if it's true for the rest of you. But if you allow yourself to use more than just your eyes as your sense, it opens up a whole new world. The bottom line is we got to stop just using our eyes when it comes to how we look at people. We have to stop this, for lack of better words, but probably true, we have to stop this judging each other shit. It's not getting us anywhere. It's 2020, and it feels like we are on the brink of another civil war in this country, but a different type of civil war over different things, because we still can't get out of this box. We got these blinders on like horses when they're racing, so that they can't look to either side. All they can see is straight. We live our lives that way because we keep ourselves using our eyes to tell us about stuff, to tell us about people, to tell us about things. It's vision, and our vision's wrong. And I'm not saying that it's everybody, but we gotta understand it. We're on this boat together. Humanity is on this boat together. But we've got captains of ships that are telling us what we should be seeing instead of becoming the captains of our own ships and seeing what we need to see. Getting on other people's ships and going together. We just keep dividing and dividing and dividing and dividing. And I want to tell you about a really simple experiment. And I looked all over the place to see if I had something in which to do this experiment, but I do not. So what I challenge you to do is to go outside, look up at the sky, look down at the green grass, look at the white snow, look at the blue sky with your eyes. Put on a pair of sunglasses and tell me if the colors look the same. Better yet, if you've got a piece of stained glass and you look through the piece of stained glass, what color do you see? Does the sky then turn red or orange or yellow or a deeper blue or purple or pink? Bet it does. And it's a really good illustration of the heart, because the heart doesn't see just one color. The eyes see one color. And with a simple changing of the color, you see everything in a different color. But it doesn't change what's there. So why does looking at a human being and their color being different, why does it change the person? Why does the fact that it's male or female change the person? Why does the fact that they are heavier or slimmer change the person? It doesn't. Doesn't. We have to stop just looking at life with these, because the universe, as you can see, is very colorful. It ain't just black. It ain't just white. It ain't just any one color. The universe is full of an array of colors. And there's a reason that if you look around this planet, there is an array of colors. Just because one rock is black and one is brown and one is green and one is gray and one is white, they all serve a purpose, and they all serve the purpose of the planet. And all of them aid in us being here. They all have a purpose. We all have a purpose. I just beg you to challenge yourself. I beg you to challenge yourself and stop seeing the world with just your eyes, because there is so much more. There are so many beautiful people in this world that we don't give a chance to, that we won't have a conversation with because of what we see with our eyes. And history is history. And if any of you love history or like history or even slightly enjoy history, you should know that the longer that we ignore history, we are doomed and destined to repeat it. And I'm sorry, but I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't want to relive none of that bullshit. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's not going to help us. It's not going to help us. Until we change our mindset, until we open our eyes for real and see the truth of this world, we are going to continue to make the same mistakes. We're going to continue to repeat history, because we're still doing it. We're still doing it. And these 4 men that died trying to make changes in the 1960s, here it is, 2020. And what is different? What is different? I don't see that much difference. I think sometimes we're afraid that people were going to be mad at us for speaking the truth, for wanting something different, for talking the way I'm talking. I think a lot of people have that fear. And I can't, and I'm not going to blame you, because I used to have that fear. I don't have that fear anymore. And I'm not going to live my life that way anymore. And I'm going to do anything and everything I can to encourage other people not to live their life like that anymore. Because it's not getting us anywhere. We're not getting anywhere staying divided. There are solutions to the problems that don't involve death and violence. There are solutions to the problems that do not require hate. Solutions, true solutions to the problem, come from conversation, discussion, and using your heart and probably your brain to think about things. Just think about that. I'm going to give you all the information that I got, that's in me, that I think of, and just like everybody else, you're going to do with it what you want to do with it. I ask you not to ignore it. Once again, I ask you to join the cause, join the revolution. I wish you all peace and love, no matter where you are. Anyone who watches this, anybody who doesn't watch this, peace and love always, from Connellsville, Pennsylvania.